Welcome to the dark and dangerous world of unlicensed boxing, where there are few rules, few safety precautions, and the consequences can be fatal. Despite the dangers, unlicensed boxing continues to attract eager competitors and spectators alike, drawn in by the allure of adrenaline and the promise of glory. What is the current state of regulation for unlicensed boxing? And what changes have been proposed or implemented in recent years? And why, despite the risks, do some fighters choose to compete in unlicensed fights? In this video, we'll explore the world of unlicensed boxing, looking into the dangers and tragedies that have made this sport controversial and concerning. When you think of unlicensed boxing matches, images of two men fighting dirty and filthy garages in front of a baying mob come to mind. Unlicensed boxing can be brutal, but it's not all like a scene from Snatch. White-collar boxing refers to some of the most popular unlicensed boxing in the United Kingdom. Boxing gyms in London in particular have seen a surge in membership before and after work hours as city boys seek another outlet for their competitive spirit. Because boxing is a combat sport, it's natural for people to want to put their skills to the test, even if they want to avoid going through the rigmarole of passing the test required for an amateur license. Amateur and professional boxing are both regulated. There are regulatory bodies such as the AIBA, BBBFC, ABAE, and others, in most if not all countries that set the standards and dictate the conditions under which participants will fight. Furthermore, they have established criteria determining the participants' fitness and ability to fight, protecting potential participants and lowering the risk of injury. However, no such regulation or license exists for white-collar boxing events. While organizational bodies may provide some pseudo-legitimacy, would-be promoters are not obligated to ascribe themselves to these bodies. A man died recently after being seriously injured during a charity white-collar boxing match in Nottingham. Last Saturday, paramedics were called to the ultra white-collar boxing event at Harvey Haddon Sports Village, and a man was taken to the hospital. According to Nottinghamshire Police, his condition deteriorated and he died at the Queen's Medical Centre Hospital. The police department was working with the coroner to determine what happened. The charity events, which occur across the country regularly, see amateur competitors undergo 8 weeks of intensive training before entering the ring in front of a black tie audience, with tables costing up to 450 pounds. The man is the second person to die in the hospital after participating in one of the events in less than a year. Following the death of Dominic Chapman, 26, in the ring at a Worcester nightclub last April. Detective Inspector Chris Berryman stated that on Saturday, March 25th, officers attended Harvey Haddon Sports Village with partners including East Midlands Ambulance Service. A man was seriously injured in a boxing match and was taken to Queen's Medical Center. His condition deteriorated after the incident, and he died as a result. During this difficult time, our thoughts are with all his family and friends. We are open-minded and collaborating with the coroner to determine what happened. According to a spokesperson, everyone at Ultra White Collar Boxing was deeply saddened to hear of the untimely passing of one of our participants, who took part in our Nottingham event on Saturday, March 25th. At this difficult time, our thoughts are with his family and friends. We remain in close contact with his family and continue offering them all our support. It would be inappropriate to comment further at this time because relevant authorities are conducting investigations. According to the boxing's organization's website, Ultra White Collar Boxing has raised over £28 million for Cancer Research UK throughout its 14-year history of holding events. The website states Ultra White Collar Boxing, UWCB, is the biggest organizer of white-collar boxing events in the UK. Since the first one in December 2009, more than 100,000 people have entered through the ropes and boxed at one of our events. That translates to an improvement in fitness and health for 100,000 people. Boxing gets a bad rap in the media. When there is an injury, there are calls to ban it. But when it comes to serious injuries, boxing is safer than cycling and rugby. We believe this is due to excellent event safety precautions. The website claims, to ensure the safety of each of our participants, we ensure that we strictly adhere to our rules and regulations. There has been a surge in popularity and participation in white-collar boxing in recent years. Many promotions are run under the guise of charitable events and provide participants with some medical screening and protection before and after the fight. Boxer safety is the top priority in any credible white-collar event. This begins before the event, continues throughout, and includes checks and measures to ensure the boxer's well-being immediately following the event. A medically based screening program should be in place from the event's start. All too often, the participants in these events have no prior experience with boxing as a competitive sport, nor do they have the necessary physical fitness. Many charities' white-collar events catalyze positive behavioral changes in participants, resulting in the adoption of new, healthier lifestyles. Some enter the ring with more coronary risk factors than you can shake a stick at. Any respectable white-collar event will screen participants from the start. A thorough medical history will be obtained, including, but not restricted to, blood pressure, resting heart rate, weight, and BMI. Any potentially high-risk indicators can thus be identified well before the event, and medical referrals or recommendations can be made as needed. Ultimately, this approach ensures that the boxer is physically capable of dealing with the stress of competition. A mandatory training program for all participants is the second aspect that should be fully in place before the event. This should begin 10 to 12 weeks before the event and should train all participants in basic boxing techniques. While there will always be individual differences in skill acquisition and capability, this training program should provide all the fundamentals to ensure they can appropriately address themselves within the ring. To supplement this mandatory training, full advice on ancillary training and nutritional advice should be provided in the weeks leading up to the competition. With these fundamentals in place, the focus should shift to the promotion style and how fights are made. A legitimate promotion should match boxers based on gender, experience, ability, physical size, weight, height, and age. The boxer's backgrounds must be considered as well as any prior experience. Furthermore, matchmaking should consider the boxer's personal characteristics and their ability demonstrated during mandatory training sessions. Assuming that everything is in order and that all of the above points are in place before the event, the next step is to consider how the boxer's safety is reinforced during the event. All competitors should be subjected to a pre-fight medical screening immediately before the competition. This should be performed by a properly qualified individual, doctor, paramedic, with recommendations or referrals made if necessary. Importantly, if there is any indication of illness, this check will prevent anyone from participating. The next consideration is the referee's quality and approach to the contest. It is, without a doubt, a fundamental requirement that the referee be qualified and experienced in managing boxing matches. A competitor's or trainer's ability does not qualify someone as a referee. The referee should be a professional, experienced individual who understands their role is to protect the boxer's health and well-being. This factor also includes the caliber and role of the corner teams. Some promotions corner fighters themselves, while others require fighters to provide their teams. The corner teams for each fighter must be fully aware of their role in supporting and protecting the fighter during the fight. They are not merely spectators with a ringside view. They must be actively engaged in closely monitoring their boxer's performance to ensure they can act, if necessary, to protect their well-being. In conclusion, while there is no mandatory regulation for white-collar events, some fundamental health and safety concerns must be addressed to protect the participants. Common sense and awareness from promoters are required to achieve this regulation. There is now a wide range of promotions available and an equal range of approaches and attention to event provision. White-collar boxing, when done correctly, is a fantastic opportunity to compete in the sport regardless of age, ability, or experience. Similarly, when it works, everyone benefits. The boxers have a tremendous experience, the promoters get a commercial return, and the designated charity receives a lot of money. As we conclude our journey through the world of unlicensed boxing, it's clear that this sport is as thrilling as dangerous. Despite the risks, unlicensed boxing continues to attract competitors and spectators. So where do we go from here? How do we balance the passion and excitement of combat sports and the need for safety and oversight? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, remember to like and subscribe to stay updated on all our latest content.